Everybody, and welcome to ESO Daily. I'm your host, Mr. Craven. All right, guys. So, back. I'm still on the PC for the day. I'll be going a little bit later on the PlayStation this afternoon. I play weekends on PlayStation. So, yeah, we'll be doing that. Also, I kind of wanted to do this show as a what-if scenario. You know, given the facts that I've played so many MMOs, it's ridiculous. And we understand that majority of MMOs, Morning Mustang, majority of MMOs are class-based, right? Have some form of a linear progression. Morning Lewis. And for me personally, it's like, what if this game would have been what we typically know Elder Scrolls to be? Meaning there was no classes, and you could take one class, kind of like Final Fantasy, and just build, you know, off of each tree's passives, right? So I kind of proposed this. What if Elder Scrolls in the future, not saying they will, but what if in the future they were to allow classes to learn other classes' abilities and trees? Not all of them. Select. I mean, think about that. A Nightblade, your primary role is a Nightblade. Kind of think of in terms of Guild Wars. How you could take a primary class and pair it in with a secondary. What if a Nightblade could learn a Templar, one Templar skill tree? Out of all three, if you could learn one. Or if you were a Dragon Knight that could learn a Warden skill tree. How cool would it be if you could do that? You would start off as your primary class, and you could somehow learn an additional class skill tree for your class. How many different possibilities would that bring to builds? As far as buffs, passives, so on and so forth. You couldn't do them all, but how cool would it be if you could learn one of your choice? I was thinking about that. I was like, imagine a Sorc with DK. Like AoEs, like, you know, go in the Ardent Flame. Like a Sorc with Ardent Flame abilities. Like, how cool. I mean, what would that do? I mean, think about that. I was thinking, like, that would be so fucking cool. That would be so fucking epic. It wouldn't be like a complete hybridization, but for tank builds, you could make so many different combos, DPS combos. So it would open up so many things if you could learn only one of any class's other skill tree with their passives and their skills. I was like, oh, that would be so epic. Think of it like the Undaunted. You know how we all have Undaunted? But imagine you did a quest for a specific, like, a sorcerer or a dragon knight. And they said, okay, you've passed your trial. Now you can learn this skill. The skill of your choice. And all of a sudden, the skill line of your choice. And you could pick and choose. And if you didn't want it, you could actually, like, sacrifice it and then pick up another one. I was like, oh my god, that would be so fucking epic. Alright, I'm going to check out the dailies. We're going to do randoms. I think my random's up. We'll check. Dire Frost and Spindle Clutch. Yeah, cake. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, that one's complete. So I'm going to have to wait. So we'll go specific. I could probably go on my tank here in a little bit. Cradle of Shadows is up too. I don't know how well that would be. So after yesterday's fiasco with my tank, But what would you guys think? Lewis, Mustang, what would you think, man? If you could do that. How would you guys react if you could literally play another class's skill tree in your other class? I'm like, the combos would be retarded. It would be amazingly awesome. It would be sick. It would be like, wow, that's so fucking cool. Like, and I think it would give a lot more diversity as far as like what players could do. You know, and I think that I don't think they would ever do it. Don't get me wrong. I don't ever foresee Elder Zoss doing something like that. I think Biz players would lose their minds. Yeah, they probably would. But would it be cool? Would it be cool if you could do it? How cool would it be? That's my question. I think it would be sick. I mean, think about all the applications. It would be gross. I'm not saying do away with the classes. I'm like, if Zoss could implement a way for players to pick up one skill line of their choosing, oh my god, I probably would have a heyday. I would probably be sitting there contemplating what skill line could I pair with each of my classes. I would go nuts. I would probably lose it. I would be like, oh my god, what do I do? What do I do? Because, you know, I don't think it should be a permanent fixture. Like, you could change in and out. You'd have to redo each of the skill lines. Think of it that way in Vampire. You can pick up Vampire, but you can also drop it. Right? But once you drop it, you'd have to become bitten again, right? But then whatever you've leveled up is already there. It's already, you know, available. Zoss would be like, everybody would lose their minds. I think you're right, Lewis. Yes, it would be. But I feel like it would take away from the identity of the class. What makes a Nightblade unique would be gone because another class can pick up one of its skill lines. And I get what you're saying, Lewis. I completely get that. But you could only pick up one. You couldn't pick up the other ones. So imagine if you were a Dragon Knight and you wanted to be a stealth Dragon Knight, right? Think about that. A stealth Dragon Knight with flame whips. You'd be a rogue DK. You know, or, you know, something else. I would get Earth and Heart for my Tank Warden. Yeah, there you go. I mean, something. I'm not saying they should ever implement it, or they would. And I get what you're saying, Lewis. It would, but I think it would definitely bring a little unique flavor into it, because, like Mustang just said, he has a definite, like, what he would add to his role, his class. Some players wouldn't. You would just be completely boggled. You'd be like, what the fuck do I do? Like, where would I go? And I think you're right on that. Like, you know, okay, well, I could pick up this class for more dots or ranged abilities or direct damage. Or I could pick up this skill line for one or two utilities that I would want to, that, like, DKs don't have access to, Magicka DKs don't have a lot of direct access to Major Expedition. So imagine picking up the Shadow Tree for a DK, which would give them Refreshing Path, which would give them Major Expedition. You know what I'm saying? Your contemplations would be endless. Like, but you could only have one. You could only have one. And I think that, I think it would be cool. I'm not saying Zoss will ever do it. It'll never happen, actually. But it's like just contemplation. Now, I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you think would be cool in the game? Some of the things that you would like to see. You know, that's kind of interesting too, because I like hearing other people's ideas. I think one of the best things, and one of the sad facts for Elder Scrolls, is you actually have to put in your key code to have direct access to the forums. Okay, Lewis, but at the same time, the community would probably become more open-minded to allow any class to tank or heal, because if a warden can pick up some of the mitigation from the DK, that would be amazing. That is true, Lewis. It would definitely open up people's perspectives a little bit more. And basically, instead of drill them, it could also backfire. Like, if you were another healer type, everybody would anticipate you to have the Templar healing tree versus maybe something like the Nightblades. But, you know, I think you're on the right path there, Lewis. I think, honestly, because, like orbs, I always tell people, you don't need shards now when orbs gives you the same effect. But it plays different, you know, and that's what it does. And I think you're right. It would open up some people's minds. And it would also, you know, it could have, you know, adverse effects as well. I think it would be cool because going forward in chapters, for example, if I was a Nightblade here and I wanted the green balance tree, right? For example, I would have to have Morrowind to get it. Todd says, I think it would be cool if master crafters could mix and match their own 2, 3, 4, and 5-piece set bonuses. That is actually a really cool idea, Todd. I actually love that idea. That's a badass idea, actually. You know what also would be really cool? If you could take gear that you pick up and convert them into the style motifs that you've learned. Because a lot of times when you pick up gear, you don't like the style. And we have all these different motifs, so why not implement where I can convert that into that style? That would be pretty cool too. But I have to thank you, Todd, because you just brought that into my mind with that idea. And that's a pretty kick-ass idea. And I'm not talking about endgame. I'm talking about really cool things that would kind of really, you know, like what Todd just said. Mustang says, just imagine the pugs you would find then. Oh, dear God. Yeah. But once again, this game, Elder Scrolls Universe to me, and every time I stepped into Elder Scrolls, and the one thing that made Elder Scrolls amazing was the replayability from a different perspective of how you built your character, right? We already knew the storyline wasn't going to change. We already knew when we found something in the games that it was always going to be there, right? Pretty much. There's some things that are, you know, about drops and things like that and whatever. But for the most part, content was consistent, except for this game. It has a random drop rate, a percentage drop rate on each item, which is randomized. But the funny thing about it is, that's what made Elder Scrolls to me always the most amazing fact for replayability, was all the different ways you could play Elder Scrolls, right? Because it was sandbox, it was open. Now we have a class-based system, and sometimes for me personally, I feel like it becomes stagnant, right? No matter how many different healers I play. That's why I don't go meta, because it's boring. I don't want to cookie anything because it's boring. Like for me, I want proficient builds. I want builds that will work in a lot of scenarios. Might have to readjust some builds depending on content. But for me personally, I like to play with a lot of possibilities. And this game, with all the different gear sets, gives you the possibility, but it still becomes stagnant because you're limited to your class, what the class is capable of doing. Lewis says, one thing I would love to see is ZOS allow one account to be played across multiple platforms. I want my progression to sync with whatever platform I decide to play on that day, whether it be a PS4 today, then a PC. And I see where you're coming from on that. Like right here, I'm on the PS4 as my main platform. You guys know that. But right now, I'm on my PC. I'm almost at 900 champion points on my PS4. On this one, I'm only at 520. So, I'm still playing catch up on this platform. And it would be kind of cool if your champion points were synced. Not necessarily gear, but as far as not your characters, but I see what you're saying, Lewis. Your champion points, how well that's been, and I think that makes a very good point. And I actually think that ZOS would make more money. There's a couple of things that ZOS did. I did a Christmas wish list last year, and I think majority except one was provided. And I think ZOS would make a lot more money if they offered like packages for players who play on multiple platforms. They would, if you could save an extra $5 a month, or $10 for every 3 months, or $15 every 6 months, to package up your platform packs, more players would, like Sony now is Daybreaker. They have a game pack, right, that allows you to play all their games for one price. Instead of paying $15 for this game, $15 for that game, or $10 for this game, $10 for that game, or whatever. You pay one flat fee and you have access to every one of their game subscriptions. And I used to do it religiously because I played so many MMOs. And that's one thing that SOE, like I played so many SOE games. Yes, packages, that would be great. Yeah, it would be great. If ZOS would do that, that would be awesome. Another thing, ZOS, I think it would be cool. Like, I don't know what platform you guys are on, but on the PlayStation, we got a pre-order theme, Morrowind theme for our PlayStation, and then we got one after. So we got like our themes for our consoles. And I keep thinking to myself, if ZeniMax was to take some of the art they already possess and make more themes, I would probably pay for that. Like, I would pay $4 or $5 for an additional theme on my console, just from the artwork. Give the little thing some icons and a sound, and boom, I would get it. $4 or $5. You want to have it's cost effective. It's like, hello, marketing 101. Take what you already have in your possession and capitalize and make more money. That's how I think. That's what my brother is, he's a vice president for his company, right? So he's kind of up there. But he started off in marketing. Now, he's a nurse, too, but he still nurses every once in a while, but to keep his license, but he doesn't do nursing anymore. But he still does, with his title and stuff, he still has to work with the marketing, right? And that's the one thing, like, I was on the business end, and he's on the business end as well, and I don't do anything like that anymore. But one thing we always learned from our family, because we was raised in a blue-collar direct family, like in our family, but we have white collar relatives and family who owns businesses and whatever. And from the white collar aspect of our family, we realized that, oh my gosh, take what you have and capitalize. You can take something so small and make money off of it. I would like to see the world bosses more difficult, sort of how Rift did it. Yeah! You know what I loved? I was actually thinking about logging into Rift today. I'm not getting a queue. I think I'm going to switch on my tank tune. One thing I loved about Rift, I was thinking about playing Rift today, but, this is called ESO Daily. And, but the Rift's got a new trial coming out, or new raid coming out. I'm not anywhere near. I tried the new shit for Rift, and I was kind of disappointed with what Tryon did. As far as the world and everything, it didn't feel right. And I was just like, it's becoming more boring. And the one thing I loved about Rift was the world bosses, the world rifts, the raid rifts. Like, I always tell people's like, oh, you're a raider? in this game, and I'm like, you don't understand what raiding is in Rift. Raiding in Rift is not a one-directional thing. It's progressive. It sucks, the whole BIS system, and we've been there. But Rift was badass because I had to do raid rifts to get my, sigil pieces to do endgame raids. So it's crazy. I loved Rift for that. There was a lot of aspects to the game. It was not so easy like people would think. It was not. That game, even though it was less time for raiding, but you still had some sort of grind. But the world bosses, Lewis says, I love the class system in Rift. So much flexible. They're coming out with a new soul too, Lewis, and a mage archer. I was like, ugh! I have every soul for the mage. I have every soul. I don't think I have the new one for the friggin' the Primalist. I don't have the new one for the Primalist, but I have every soul for. I have all the soul packs except the new one for the Primalist, and now they announced a new one for Mage. So I was like, God dang, really? That's just But I had to walk away from Rift. One of my bad things that pissed me off about Rift was the balance issues. Like, I had all the characters. So I had 5 characters. That's all I needed. I had one of each class. And I had all the souls. And I had multiple souls unlocked. This was before it became free-to-play. Well, I got Primalist after the free-to-play. And the one thing that pissed me off was when we did raids, what classes were going to do it. The content. Like, at one time, I was a warrior tank. But then later on when I left again, mage tanks were more dominant. Same thing with, your support classes and shit. There was just too many. I love the concept of Rift, and everything was doable, but some classes were just better. And that's one thing I hated, because the AoE damage, at one time, the Kabbalist builds were just dominant for AoEs. You love the Void Warrior? They changed that though too. Like Void used to actually be a tank one at one time, but then I believe they switched it to didn't they switch it to why in the fuck? Boy, this DPS is looking weak. Yeah, and then they went from Void tanking to Void DPS. I actually was a Void tank at one time as well when we did River of Souls. Remember River? And I was a Void tank. And then they switched it up, and now I switched it when for the DPS role. No Nightblade take today? My Nightblade's on my PlayStation, Mustang. I could probably do it next week. He's set up for PvP right now, but I will switch him back for you. That's fine. But yeah, I don't have a Nightblade tank on the PC. It's on my PlayStation. I only have currently four characters at CP rank on this platform. And the other ones where all my other ones are, my PlayStation. Oh, no problem, man. Is it me or is this DPS really slow? Can somebody confirm that? I don't know.
Over there, it's Maril.
Sudarim, I thought you were dead. The pain of night overwhelmed us.
Who did this? Where's Atavar?
I don't know.
Yeah, I used to be in the co-GM in my Rift guild. I was the main raid tank, but life happened, needed to retire from it. It was very time consuming. Yeah, I actually was a main tank in Rift 2 until we picked up a tank, and then I went mage DPS and mage heal and mage support. That's how I ended up mainly doing a lot of mage stuff. Depending on what we needed for each encounter, especially with the HK. Like, I'd have to go Archon on, like, a couple of encounters. Greenscale was always Archon for me. I played Archon and Greenscale a lot. I loved Rift though. Loved it. It was definitely one of my favorites of all time. Sometimes I'd like to go back. I still have friends who play Rift, but sometimes the devs need balance. It's what it is. I couldn't take it anymore. I was fine with the progression system, even though it sucked with each update, but I couldn't take the balance issues. And then souls that were, I made a thread on Rift that was called Lost Souls. Souls that weren't even being used anymore because they had no viability. You know, they just didn't. But dude, did you get a chance to play the warrior healer, Lewis? That healer actually was so badass. Uology always wanted to check Rift out. Rift was so badass, but it was just system heavy. Like, I literally spent $2 grand on my PC to play Rift. Yeah, I thought the support role was a great idea, not just tank, healer, and DPS was refreshing. Yeah, I love the healer role for the warrior. The healer for warrior was so badass. It was doable all the way into the end, even in raids, man. We actually used a couple of warrior builds. Warrior healer builds. They actually got, when Mage took over tanking, we actually used warriors for healers, for tank healers. We still use the clerics for the AoE heals, group heals and shit. I loved Chloromancer though too.
I don't want you to see it. Get out of here.
Look at that lag, man. What the fuck is up with that?
Heal me!
Yeah, you can tell the DPS is a little low. Oh, whoa, look at that. Get those friggin' ads down. Yo. Yeah. Yeah! They're still on the mobs. By the way, hi, Uology. Cradle of Shadows is the daily, Uology. You think there's a chance you could get a motif again today? He's such a lucky man. I rode Vet Cradle so far with Uology 2 times, and he got 2 motifs, and I've yet to get one of those. Never gotten one. Zoth loves me. Get out of the hole! Two people in. Oh my gosh!
Cheated at cards. Over here.
Come on, just kill it! Funny thing is, I see the liquid lightning. I don't see wall. I don't see jack shit. I get your doubles. Yeah, if you get doubles, it's mine. Thanks, Uology. He's been a lucky man. I'm telling you, he's been getting those motifs in Vet Cradle. I'm like, damn it! It's gonna be fun. Keep them all together. Get back! Ah! I always get good luck if I'm healing. Is that what it is? Probably right. Yeah, Rift was probably one of my most favorite games. I played World of Warcraft for a long time too, which I was okay with. I liked WoW. You know, for PvE, I did the content, and of course, you know, because whatever, I had to do it. But PvP and WoW Battlegrounds, I was a huge player, massive player in Battlegrounds. I was very huge Battleground player. Arenas, when Arenas came out, that's kind of, I did them, but that's kind of where I was like, you know, fuck this. The balance issues just became so much more apparent. Battlegrounds, I didn't have to worry about balance issues as much. I knew which fights I could pick up, win, get the shit out of the way, and that's what it was. I only raided in Rift and SWTOR. I PvP'd in WoW. PvP back in the day in World of Warcraft, the ranking system, the way they did everything was the best that any game could have done for Battlegrounds. Rift, did you PvP in Rift, Lewis? Battlegrounds in Rift was badass. They actually removed the one battleground. It was kind of like the Ultrak Valley of Rift. It was kind of sad. But I was a huge Battleground player in Rift as well. Rift, it was way fun. I could build anything in Rift, depending on what I wanted. And I could kill any class, depending on what I wanted. I had a lot of flexibility in Rift. Rift builds were the shit. That Crusader of Light I've been playing, it's like WoW on mobile. Yeah, you were telling me about that. Is that why you haven't been on this week, Uology? Have you been sneaking out on me? I actually jumped on last night and I was like, where the hell is Uology? This healer, I don't know what is up with this healer. I love the stuns. Wow. I did some PvP in Rift. Love the world PvP. We used to roam around killing everyone as a guild. Yeah, dude. Rift, open world PvP in Rift was pretty badass. But now it's just like I said, it's a fragment of what it was. Dude, I hated CC. Like, dude, against a Dom, Mage, when they would fucking squirrel your ass in open world, it was just as bad as getting sheeped. I was like, motherfuckers! I'd get so pissed. Back away from the pool of blood. Look, I can just stand here. Alright, I'm back. I got Zost. This game sometimes will cause my entire system to crash. Doesn't happen often, but this is the only game that'll do it. I can jump on a bunch of other games and I don't get that problem. I don't know what it is. I don't know what. Every once in a while I'll get an entire hard crash. Hoping they don't kick me. Only got one boss to go. Ugh. That's another thing that we were complaining about with some of these games. Like, you'll meet the specs, but yet, like, I don't know if it's a software issue. I have a hard time finding it like it's hardware. But the system, everything bogging down your system, such a fucking problem. Such a fucking nuisance. Console, man. I love the console crashes. The blue screen of crap. Alright. Sweet. Didn't get kicked. Like, my CPU fluctuation is between 60 and 90. That's crazy to me. Boy, I made it back in time. I think somebody's at my door. Not sure. I wonder if it's going to give me credit for the random. I'm hoping. Because I DC'd. If not, I'm going to be pissed. Oh, he's got him. Alright. I want to see if hopefully I got it. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. Sweet. I'm happy with that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave group real quick. I'm going to throw back up the pop chat because unfortunately I did DC. It can happen. Let's see. Everything's crazy in this thing, man, on reset. Alright. Let's see. Going over here. Get this up. If it'll let me pop it up, because I'm streaming already. Usually I have this popped up. There we go. Okay, there's that. And I got my little screen again. Yay. Let's see what you guys said. Zoinks, uh-oh, Mystic down. Quick, who knows the number for 911? No need, he has a DNR request. No, I'm saying console does crash, Uology, but at least it doesn't shut down the entire PlayStation. Like, sometimes on this crash, you'll get a crash report on PC, like a typical PC game, where it says Elder Scrolls has quit working, but Elder Scrolls can cause your system to hard crash. You'll get the blue screen. Yo, hi Sky, what's up? You're a crazy horse, Plaguey, so every day, long time. I only average between 6 hours a day because I pick up like 2 hours here, I'll pick up an hour there. I average about 6 hours a day. On the average. So like this is kind of like a job for me in a lot of ways. And I don't think a lot of players understand, like, it's gotten worse for me where I would end up just typically playing here and there. I'm a hardcore MMOer. I don't do MMOs light, like, at all. It doesn't happen. You know, we don't do very I just picked this up for whatever. Actually, I still need to put some into this too. Right there. But I've always been like that type of player where I was like, okay, you know, I really do need to you know, check this game out and stuff. That's why, you know, like, when I would do games, I don't watch television, for example. I don't go to the movies unless there's something I'm wanting to specifically check out or whatever have you. So a lot of times, MMOing is like what I do primarily. So, for entertainment, hobby, whatever else have you. Alright, where are we at in the champion points? I gained a level, almost 2. Oh my god. Alright, I'm going to switch tunes real quick here. We'll go back to the deep, see if I can get a cue. But, yeah, like yesterday, somebody had asked me, how many tunes, not on here, but on my PlayStation, how many tunes do I have on Elder Scrolls? I'm like, well, I have 2 platforms and I have 16 tunes. Addiction is okay. Yeah, we all have something we're into, you know. My brother is like a workaholic, you know. He works it's not physical labor, but he's very into his job. He'll travel for his job, and then my family is my family's known for one specific sport, and they're pretty hardcore into it. So I think it's just kind of what we're accustomed to. You know, but everybody, don't be fooled. Everybody's got, it might not be drugs, but everybody has their addiction. You know, they'll just substitute one thing for another and say, you know, it's not an addiction. Like, I have a friend who works out 5 days a week. I used to be like that. I used to be a jock, you know, in school. I was very athletic and, You know, I was still the nerd. I played Dungeons and Dragons on the weekends, and 5 to 6 days a week I was, you know, in the gym playing sports. After high school, I got into amateur martial arts, fighting and stuff, and I was in that for years. And you know, so we just substitute. You know, it's what it is. Now, of course, I had real life addictions before, so and like really negative addictions. I think there's a difference between positive and negative addictions. You know. But, like, imagine the people who work and do this every day. I laughed a lot because of Gilly the Rogue yesterday. Great, entertaining, laugh out, very enjoyed it. Thank you. Yeah, it was amazing when he said Nightblades don't have direct heals or burst healing. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, are you crazy? Like... Really? I mean, come on now. Ooh, randoms up. This is how I get a lot of my champion points out of the way. Great. Martial arts, you too? Wow. Okay. What kind of martial arts were you into, Sky?
I grew up in Narcissus. I can't believe this stupid plague almost turned the
I'm a black belt in Taekwondo and also disciplined in Muay Thai. And boxing. I did kickboxing. So those are my 3 primary disciplines. But I also learned a little judo and a little bit of Tai Chi. Thai. Yeah, Thai is awesome, isn't it? You'll never see a sanctioned fight in the States, though, will ya? That'll never fucking happen. I tell people, I'm like, you have no idea how hardcore Muay Thai can be. Muay Thai is really like traditional Muay Thai. Like I think everybody kind of has their Western culture has their own form of Thai boxing, but Thai boxing is just badass. Especially when you get in the clinch. That's where that type of fighting style shines. Is the clinch. I'm like until you get in clinch fights in Muay Thai, you're really not Muay Thai fighting. And it's brutal. It's brutal training. Yeah. Elbows and knees. Elbows and knees. Yeah. It hurts. It's really painful, man. I love being CC'd. I feel like this tank isn't using Pierce. What the hell just happened to my shit? This person using Pierce armor or not? What the fuck? I'm telling you, this My DPS is usually higher. I'm not getting my combat prayer from my healer. Let me ask. I guarantee you that using fucking ransack. I knew it!
Nobody disturbs the masters.
No one can tell me, man. I know my shit. Yeah, like, I'm so old now, I don't think I could ever go back into fighting. Like, my hips aren't there anymore. One of the major things about Taekwondo, a lot of, like, Taekwondo and kickboxing does have a lot of hip rolls in your shit. I hear it. Laugh out loud. Hi, Heed. Heed Shield 1. I think that's how you pronounce it. But I knew this person didn't have pierce armor.
Overwhelmed us.
Who did this? Where's
Major
Valdemar?
problem here. And why does my...
Atovar and Valor.
Why is the other DP... Look at this! This DPS has blood spawn on! What the fuck is that?
Are you?
How they defines size.
Man, it sucks not having my shit. God, I need fucking Major Breach! Fucking Warlord something, you fuckers!
Now a gargoyle. That settles it. Vampires.
Vampires. You think they know what they're dealing with?
If not, they're in for a painful lesson.
I was hoping to do that. This is becoming the normal. It is! It is! Mother... Fuck, I'm so pissed!
Yes. The Whisperer is gone.
No, you can't be real. I was going to rescue you. And then I heard her voice.
It's over, Braxton. You can rest now.
Boss, I don't think he's listening.
You aren't real. You're one of her illusions. I won't let you stop us.
I don't think I run a daily this week with a single player using Warhorn. What the fuck is that? You know, I mean, what? I understand normals, man. I get it. Pick.
No, this is all wrong.
I'm not fucking with this spider. I'm trying to level up this one ability, and I should fucking have my finisher, especially right here.
I don't want you to see it. Get out of here. Heal me!
Can we just get... Fuck this. Like I said, I'm not fucking with this shit. Warden's not running combat prayer. Don't even be a healer if you're not running combat prayer. That's inexcusable to me. That's fucking excusable as a motherfucker. No Pierce. I have no access to Major Breach. None. I'm losing almost 2,000 DPS per hit because the lack of fucking Major Breach. Tank. I'm getting pissed. Fucking bump the other healer, you dumb fucks. Ugh. Just. Yeah, not learning their class. I fucking agree. No combat prayer. I don't run one healer build without combat prayer. It doesn't ever fucking happen. I don't run a tank build without Pierce fucking armor. I don't care how you... There's multiple ways to get shit in this game. You're not restricted. Oh my god! What the fuck? The rock wouldn't let me go further and I died. Okay, sure. Makes fucking sense to me. Fuck it! I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers! Getting drained like a bitch from this boss! And what happens? I have no fucking buffs! Except minor toughness! Mother... Fuck! You... I'm gonna cry! It's Pugs! Ah! No orbs either. He's in a vet. I didn't see one orb yet. If you're gonna be a healer, non-Templar healer, do yourself a favor. Get the fucking orbs. God dang! Fuck me!
You cheated at cards. You deserve this. Did you hear that? There's someone alive over here. Help me get this.
Guarantee you, the healer doesn't have combat prayer.
Boss, they have Atavar. Their leader took him further in the ruins.
Fuck me! Was using it. Yeah, well, I wasn't fucking getting it! Was you healing the tank with it? You're supposed to bring it towards me and just hit me with it. I love it. This is where I like playing with my boys.
No clutch belongs to the dead.
Yo, tank, just kite the melee to the ranged. I'm losing like 3,000 fucking DPS per hit on my single. What the fuck? Trying to keep these as even as possible. I want to try to get them all down together. Oh, wrong bar. No! I know it! Ah! I'm getting so pissed! I got a DPS over here with blood spawn. Sure, why not? Ah! Okay, I'm getting a fucking berserk. I'll stand in front of this fucker. I'm gonna cry. Fuck this. I'm gonna switch something up. Fuck the recovery at this point! Yeah, that'll give me a lot of aggro. Just getting hit by everything. I'm getting slightly pissed the fuck off. Healer's 135 could be another reason. I wouldn't even do a vet until I was like 160. I wouldn't even touch a vet until I was 160 because I knew I was just going to scrap fucking gear. Stun. What's... Jeez. Just drag the fucker. Of course they're fighting over there one fucking dude! Why not? Why fucking not? Cause it's fucking... One! Bring him the... Get him in the fucking crazy shit, dude. Oh my god. I'm trying to be patient with your fucking asses. Ah! Get... I know! Give me the... Oh my fucking god! Yeah, I want to start drinking. And I don't drink. Fuck it! My fucking god!
The master commands you death.
Hey, yo, Tank, get your ass over here and do your shit. Bring up. Sure. Why not? What? Sorry, I work every day. I had no choice but to pop pills and get wasted. Well, I don't get wasted. I'm drug free, actually. I don't believe in drugs. I did when I was younger. I got into some stupid stuff, but I grew up pretty quick, learned about what drugs can do to your life and the lives of people around you. So I promote a pretty much a sober lifestyle. Oh, dude, I would love it, Mass, if you did. No Pierce armor right now sucks! I'm not saying the tank's bad. I'm not saying the tank's bad. It's just, it's like old school type tanking. Look at their lives. They're, you know... This game, like, when I first, whatever, it was just... Come on. Jeez. Wow.
Atavar, where
Fucking
are you?
crazy.
I don't like this.
Wake up. Wake up.
Have to agree with
775. It doesn't have Pierce armor, and max is 28k for a tank. Bad scenes for the damn stress. That's pretty good, Mass. Pull. I swear to God. Wrong. Normally that funnel would be doing close to 21k. I'm dealing 18. It's enough to make you sick. Shit, wrong button. Shit. So can I hit you up this way or only on PS4? No, you can hit me up this. Well, if I'm live, you can hit me up, right? Yeah, mass, for sure. Come on! I don't know what this other fucking DPS is wearing. This is a pug and a fucking half. Worst bug ever. That was the worst. They're like, good going. No, not really. Mr. Craven. Oh, dude, how many accounts do you got, Mass? Swig, I didn't even know it was you. Oh, this sucks. That was the worst. I just wanted to put my head towards my screen. I just wanted to literally pound my head off this fucking screen. It was brutal. $136, no orbs. Limited synergies. No Pierce. Combat prayer. Not being utilized as often. Holy fuck. I'll tell you. Woo! I put myself through some headaches at times.
Beyond?
Hopefully that's enough to level that. It's not. I don't think. Anyways. Crazy. Friggin' nuts, man. That hurt me. And I wasn't even playing right. I was like, ugh. I'm gritting my teeth. I'm like, oh my God, help me. Help me. Maybe that's another reason why I like playing healer, because I know how. I mainly heal. I do have DPS roles. I do have tanks. Primarily, I do a lot more healing. Shitload more healing. Pug life forever. It is. It is. But it killed me that the tank wasn't applying the major breach. I was losing around 3,000 a hit because of that. That's fucking huge. That's a fucking huge fucking loss. And what was worse is I just kept thinking to myself, like, my other DPS beside me is rocking Bloodspawn. Okay. Whatever. Fucking nuts, man. Fucking nuts. I'll tell you. I might actually keep that. It was nuts. Fucking nuts, nuts, and more nuts. I'll get through it, though, somehow, some way. We need to talk about that build. Yeah, I was checking that out from that link you sent me. Kind of interesting. There's a couple things that you can do with that. I know which kind of direction you're going in. So, it was kind of interesting to see it. Got 2 champion points from that, though. So, pretty happy. Well, I'm going to be cutting this. I got a couple things to do. I'll be back on maybe later this afternoon, but I'll be on the PlayStation. If anybody has any questions, comments, I'll take comments. Oh, my God. Crazy. Just post below. I want to thank everybody for watching. And once again and always, have a nice day.